the gold tractor here, we have the fuel tank off for painting, and I did the engine up 12 years ago, and now it's time, while we have it off, we're going to take the time and set the tappets, do a rocker set. So we'll just work through that with you. Get my trusty shifting spanner, fits everything. Little copper washer under there. That's a little crankcase ventilation valve. It has a little hole and a check ball in there. It looks like it might be a bit blocked. We'll have a look at that. We'll visit that at least. Now, I may have to come in through the back here with a spanner and loosen this off, but for the moment, we'll just run this tappet cover bolts off. Here's another one where the bolt's coming, so we'll have to put that back in. We'll put the stud into the head and Loctite it in. And this one's the same. And we'll pop the tappet cover off. Just wasn't going to leak by the looks. It's quite firm. There we go. Lovely. A little bit of condensation and rubbish in there that we'll clean out and check out. Yeah, a little bit of condensation by the looks in there, but the tractor has been left out from time to time, so we'll have a bit of a look and see what's going on with that. The tappet cover gasket can come off and go in the bin. Okay, it's been running well, so we'll just give this a bit of a turn over. So you can see number 1 here rocking. That means we'd set number 4. Yeah, look, there's a little bit of movement there, but number 4 is nearly too tight there. But anyway, we'll run through it and see. I'm a bit surprised at the rubbish in here, but we're going to give it an oil change anyway, so we might give it all a bit of a flush out and a tidy up here and bit of a rinse off and see. When I did the motor up 12 years ago, I didn't have stuff available that I have available now, so this will be a far better restoration and catch up than back then. So, but anyway, we'll give it over and a tidy up and we'll go from there. Right, there's a couple of ways of doing this job, and we'll run through both of them. Now, this is a battery box here, and this is number 4 cylinder. Now, what we're looking for, if we go in, turn the fan in the direction of rotation, we're looking for these 2 valves on number 4 here, just to start rocking. So one just finishes coming up, and the other just starts going down. So I'm actually going backwards here for a second just to... Okay, so we have one going down. I think that would be the exhaust. And as it comes up, okay, now see that there, that's what they call rocking, the valves are rocking. So one's just finished coming up and the other one just starts going down. So that's rocking on number 4 they call it. So when you say rocking on number 4 or rocking on number 3 or 2 or 1, that's what we're talking about. So we now have the tractor rocking on number 4. Now while the tractor's rocking on number 4, I've taken the starter off so it's easy for you to see. That's the oil line. Now there's a hole here. I have a 1/4 inch screwdriver. There's a hole there. Poke it back and hold a bit of pressure on it. And while it's rocking on number 4, see that poked into the hole there. So what do we know from that? See, if we pull it out, we turn the tractor just a little bit, it won't go in, but then when we come back, there we go. That's in the hole. So while we're rocking on number 4, and we can get that in the hole in the flywheel, that means we're firing on number 1, and with one full turn of the crank we can set all the valves. So we'll just go through that way quickly just to show you. I'm having shadow troubles here, the light's sort of behind me a little bit, so we'll see how we go. Right, so now we know we're rocking on number 4. So with our screwdriver in the slot still, that means we're firing on number 1. That's just how they work, how 4-cylinder engines work, most of them. So that means on this one position we can set 1, 2, 3, miss 1, hit 1. So we can set inlet and exhaust on number 1, inlet on number 2, and exhaust on number 3. So it's firing on number 1, you can feel that. We've got valve clearance, so the piston will be up to the top. Both valves are shut. And you can just feel a little bit of movement on my valves. On the 35, the exhaust valve has spinners, has little rotors there. So we can set those tappets. Then take your screwdriver out at the back. Now if we go one full turn of the engine, now excuse my shadow, one full turn of the engine in direction of rotation, so we have the inlet valve just coming up here, or the exhaust valve on number 1, and see we have number 1 rocking now. So number 1 rocking, we can take our screwdriver again, find the hole in the flywheel, there's another one there, and that's in, you just have to take my word for it. So now from the other end, we can do 1, 2, 3, miss 1, hit 1. So in that one turn of the crank, you can do all your valves. So nice and easy, not hard to do at all, but I'll show you the other way. Okay, this other way, don't worry about your screwdriver. Just get it rocking on number 1, which we've just done. Actually, we got it rocking, yeah, on number 1, so number 4's loose. So if you split your engine in half here, while it's rocking on number 1, you can set number 4. While it's rocking on number 4, you can set number 1. While it's rocking on number 2, you can set number 3. While it's rocking on number 3, you can set number 2. So it doesn't matter which way you do it, both ways you get the same result, you get a good tappet set. yeah, at the moment we've got it rocking on number 1 with the pin in. I'll just pop that pin back in again just to show you. Well, I'm not going to show you, to bugger it. We've got the camera set up. And yeah, look, with it rocking on number 1, we'll set 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, miss 1, hit 1. And that gives you 1, 2, 3, miss 1, hit 1 when you come the other way. So, okay, we're going to do 10 thousandths of an inch on the inlet and 12 thousandths of an inch on the exhaust. Now on my feeler gauges, 14, 12, 8, 10. So we have a 12 thou feeler gauge and a 10 thou feeler gauge. So we'll probably start at the back here. Now, oh, I must have been feeling strong when I done that up. Hang on a sec, I'll go and get the proper tools. Okay, I found a proper spanner instead of taking bloody shortcuts. Okay, so look, all we do here, see that has been tight, that one. So we loosen the lock nut. And there we go, there's our 12 thou. So we just nip that up just barely firm. Now this is a feel thing, eh? I know 12 thou is 12 thou, but everyone seems to have a slightly different feel. So I'm happy with that. So you hang onto the screwdriver, you just nip that up. I'd like to go a little bit more with that. So we'll just yep, that's feeling good. Okay, inlet, 10 thou. Make sure I've got the 10 thou feeler gauge. How are we going here? See, that one's tightened up. And see, what happens over time is as the valve wears, the valve works up into the head just a couple of thou, and that's where your valve lash disappears. So we'll do the same here. That feels pretty good. We'll just nip him a little bit and have another feel. Yep, and we'll just nip him up. We have another inlet here. Yeah, see, that's just bloody. Oh, I dropped my bloody screwdriver, you see that? This one's got shit all over it. No, I'm going to have to pick it up. About there is good. So we'll just nip him a little bit and have a feel. Yep, that's good. Now we'll just take him a little bit further. So we've done 1, 2, 3, miss 1, hit 1, and this is an exhaust valve. That's tightened up as well. One of those things, you probably should do the tappets more often than you do, but it's a pain in the arse getting the getting the fuel tank off. Just loosen that screw back a little bit. Not that you can see much with my big mitten away. But hopefully you're getting the general idea of it all. Just nip him a little bit, have another feel. Just nip him right up. So we have 12, 12, 10, and 10. Okay, we'll go one full engine revolution. So that should... So what we're looking for now is number 4 rocking. So I'll go around onto the fan again. Always go in the direction of rotation of your engine. So we have the exhaust valve going down here. Okay, it's just coming up. You notice that point of rock once more. So if I put the screwdriver down in the hole and just rock it back and forth a little, there you go, the screwdriver's just gone into the hole. So that gives us the opportunity now to start from this end. Do 1, 2, 3, miss one, hit one. So because we're up the back here, I might start with this fella here. So 1, 2, 3, miss one, see that's tight. Yeah, this one's loose. So we might loosen that off a bit. Just back him out a little. There we go. So once again, we just nip him a little, make sure we're happy with our adjustment. And then we just do a final nip up. It's just starting to shower outside, so you may hear something on the roof in Bundy Bear's shed here. It's quite noisy. I've had trouble filming this weekend because of the rain, so trying to find a time when I could get a little bit of filming in between rain showers. So we'll loosen this one off again. Oh well, not again, this is the first time we've done it. It doesn't feel quite right, that thread there. We'll have to look into that, I think. Some of these threads get a bit nipped up over their lifetime and they become tight. I think I've got one here. They pull the thread a little bit on the rocker, I believe. Oh no, that's coming. So we have our 10th hour there. So we just pull him firm like we've done for the others. That one could do with a little bit of backing off. That's okay. Okay, we'll nip him up. Okay, another one here. Oh, look, that one's bang on already. Actually, we might just pull him up a little bit. He's a bit the other way. That's feeling good. And the last one, the exhaust valve right at the front on number 1. Well, that's pretty good too. Okay, that's how to set your tappets. Now we'll get the tappet cover ready to put back on, and we might drop these tappet cover studs down and Loctite those in as well while we're going. Right, we had to have a bit of a break because it was raining, but I've got the old contact cement, and what I do nowadays is open it up, run a bead of contact cement around the tappet cover, right, I just run a smooth bead around with my finger. I do this nowadays because it does help keep the gasket where you'd like it to be. A little bit of a run down here I'd like to get rid of. Bit heavy-handed there. Then the same on the gasket. So we just run a bead right around the gasket. A few heavy drops coming on the roof again. And we just spread it around the gasket, make sure it's a nice even run. Bloody sticky shit. Now if we leave that sit there for a second, put the cap back on the... Now you'll notice it'll get to a stage where it starts to string out. See that? And this one will be doing the same. So when it starts to string out, you're pretty well ready. And we place the tappet cover gasket in the tappet cover. Make sure it's sitting square and true and right out to the edge. Trying to keep it all in frame for you. We've got a bit of glue on the outside there that needs a bit of a wipe off. And what that will do, that will stick the tappet cover gasket to the tappet cover, to the rocker cover, and that'll stop it from moving about or walking in, as I've seen. And it's easy to get off next time. When we go to put it on, we'll rub a run of grease around here and we'll just pop the grease on, make sure this surface is clean. A little bit of grease, set him down and it won't leak, you could bet on that. So we'll sit that up there to dry. Up there to dry, now you can see, guys. Bloody hard to get a good cameraman, isn't it? And we need to clean this up, and if you remember we need to put the studs in. So I'll go and get the studs and we'll come back. Okay, now these rocker studs, they have to go in. So I've buffed them up, cleaned them all up. Now we'll just put a dab of Loctite on them. We'll just do one at a time. We run that down as far as we can with our fingers. You mightn't have one of these, but these are little stud removers. They just grab the stud whichever way you turn. If you haven't got that, just lock two nuts up if you need to do something like this. Nice and firm. We'll do the next one. And this time, yeah, the stud should stay put. Mainly because of the Loctite. Now little tool doesn't want to come off. There we go. Alright, so now, before we put the top back on, we'll just run through, make sure there's no loose rockers in case we've missed something. No, that's all good. Right, so where we have our tappet cover here, we'll just run a little bit of grease around this side. And then if we're out on a tractor run somewhere and we break a rocker or do anything like that, and we've got to pop the top off, well, it's no big deal because we're not going to wreck the gasket. We can use the gasket again. Oh, grease is good stuff. So now the idea is to slide this in under there and under this pipe, which we haven't undone, ensuring that we keep the gasket in place, which shouldn't be a worry. We can see right along here. Let's see if I can get you down there a little bit. You can see right along here, you can see the gasket. sitting in place along the line. You have to have a look around the other side and make sure it's staying where it's supposed to stay. That will come down there. We'll find a new copper washer. Actually, I've used bonded seals in the past for there. And they're dowdy washers, bonded seals. They've got a little bit of, they're an aluminium washer with a bit of rubber in the centre of them. So that's a good thing to use. So we'll give this little valve a wipe up and we'll have a bit of a look at it. And I'll go and find a washer for these screws. Now, around these screws is going to be one of the few times you see me use a silicone product. And the only way I can think of the moisture getting in here, it doesn't use any coolant at all, this tractor. The engine oil doesn't come up, so you know the level stays where it's supposed to. The coolant in the radiator, it never loses any. Like, we don't have to top it up from 1 week, 1 month, 1 year to the next. So perhaps when we've been washing it, and it does get a lot of washes, this tractor, I'm wondering if it has sat in there and just the condensation got in through here. So anyway, I'll go and find some washers and a bit of silicone. Even then I've backed away from using a silicone product. I've got fibre washers here. Now, fibre washers have a large surface area, and where the nut pushes down on them, it should spread the load quite nicely. But look, what I'm going to opt to do is use a bit of 515 Loctite or Verco R51. Oh, this is really good stuff and it doesn't leave any little beads anywhere. But we'll coat both sides of the washer with a little 515. I've got a lot of faith in 515. We'll do the other one. My favourite sealer, really. And wipe my hands, put the cap on. I buffed all the threads and cleaned those studs right up as well. So just to help it be a better job. Now nip that down fairly firm. So the washer pushes in and pushes into the concave a little bit. That should be fine. Now, once again, have a look along the edge of your gaskets. Make sure the gasket hasn't walked on you, but with the glue there, I doubt that it will very much. Clean up any Loctite residue. You can't see in here, but it still makes the paint job better. That's nice, and this fella's nice and free. So once again, we're going to put a tad of 515 on those dowdy washers. So just a little around the top there. And a little on the lower washer. If I was out at the shop I'd put a new washer on, but look, there's no need, it wasn't leaking and the rubber still feels good. It's going down nicely. I've got the right size spanner over there somewhere, but anyway, I've got the shifting spanner here, if we use it. Okay, we'll come through. Right, that's nice and firm. Once again, clear that up. So there you go, that's the end of the video on doing the tappets on Goldie, or the rockers. Yeah, we'll move along and tidy up the grease along here. We're going to pressure clean all this and degrease it and all that and make it look nice before we paint it, but that's just another little part of the job done.